the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Ducks, poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama Show. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. The ladies are screeching, they're hurling those names. Snake, liar, fraud. It's their favorite game. No problems to find, no solution in sight. Just a merry-go-round of emotional fights. Subs egg it on, they're loving the mess. Trauma bonding nightly in this hot circus press. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. It's a borderline stream, this emotional ride. No facts, just feelings with nowhere to hide. They gather each night for their drama parade. Significance found in the mess that they've made. So tune in tomorrow, the circus won't stop. Crama's true crime keeps the drama on top. With insults and screams, it's a wild, wild scene. Crama's true crime circus, fighting to be YouTube's drama queen.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are doing Jewels of Thought today. This is kind of Crama related stuff. So, whoops, I need to make one of these for just in general reaction video, not HTC reaction video. I really like this visual here. So I'm thinking I'll just make another one, take the HTC off and leave everything else the same, because it's about you guys, the original gems, right? All right. Well, so I told you guys I would be back, and I am. Team 2C Do 222. Welcome, my friends. Getty, Nona, Kathy. So glad to see you. Diane, yay. No, you'll get caught up soon enough, Diane. Don't worry. Doris Martin, welcome back. You're here for round 2. You were here for round 1, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sketty Nona is an unlicensed personal life coach. There you go. Man, this is quite a story. So in case you missed part 1, let me bring you up to date. Megan, the non-certified coach of something, the mysterious, she made the decision that she would be non-certified. She didn't, she's special enough. She doesn't need to prove any sort of education or training or skill or competency. Just her willingness to spend time with you should make you grateful. So she's a non-certified, by choice, non-life coach. Yeah, we're really confusing. She starts this video, people, by saying that she's here for a revolution. Now, I don't know if this is like the Tracy Chapman revolution, or if we're talking about Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I don't know what kind of revolution we're talking about, but she's here for it. She's here for it. All right. So we are going through the revisionist history of Megan, the non-certified, and we're trying to figure out exactly what the revolution is and why she needs to rewrite history so dramatically. So that brings you up to date. Did I cover it all, Doris? Did I get it, Sketty Nona? Did I kind of hit the high points? And listen, Diane, you're going to want to go back and watch part 1 because we had fun. We had a good time being silly and laughing, but stick around and we're going to continue this. Okay. All right. So it looks like she's lost some rose leaves, or are those fake roses? I don't know. I can't decide. And it doesn't matter. Does look like, it does look like, I don't know if that's real Dupioni silk or if that's fake silk. What do you ladies think? Do you think her curtains are real Dupioni or is it fake? I'm going to have to hold off. It doesn't quite have enough sheen. I'm going to have to hold off. I'm not sure if it's real or not, but maybe fake.
What was the best thing for everybody else? And that began a revolution in my life. I ended my marriage. I started EMDR therapy.
They say you want a revolution. Well, you know, sorry for my scratchy throat. We all want to change the world. That is the Beatles. Y'all remember that song? Oh my God. It's such a great song. I love the Beatles. But she's thinking about EMDR therapy, making child SA, healing with good mental health, and her presence online had nothing to do with her stupid cousin, quote unquote, Lori.
Which ultimately saved my life. I literally would not be here if I hadn't found EMDR therapy. And I started an intensive outpatient program over the summer because I was a teacher. I couldn't do it during the school year because I had too many commitments and other obligations. And so over the summer, I enrolled in this 6-week program that was 9 hours of therapy, group therapy, as well as 2 hours a week of individual therapy. And so to answer questions in chat, EMDR stands for Eye Movement Desensitization and Reprocessing. It is a trauma-based therapy modality that allows you to separate the negative feelings from traumatic experiences that have happened to you. And I started my EMDR therapy by addressing my fear of heights, which developed, when I was around 30 years old. And it was revolutionary. I did that very first session, and then my homework after the session was to go to downtown San Antonio, where I live, up into the Tower of
and jump off a building. No, I'm saying that was such a bad joke. My apologies. You see what it's like inside of my brain? No, I'm kidding.
Americas, and see what I felt like. And there is a glass elevator that goes up the outside of the Tower of Americas, and which can be very scary for people who are scared of heights because you can see everything as you're going up. And I got into the elevator and I put my head against the glass and I looked down and I watched the ground disappear beneath me, and I felt nothing. I felt no anxiety. And it was then that I knew this was going to work. And so I continued to go to EMDR for the next 18 months. First, I went every week, and then I went twice a month. And then I went once a month after that. I was never diagnosed as a narcissist, although I've been around plenty of narcissists. And I even have a course that helps people identify bullying and controlling behaviors, which I think you probably know. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made this comment. Welcome.
Wait a minute. What'd she say? She wrote a test? What the hell did...
I went every week.
What the hell did she say?
And then I went twice a month. And then I went...
Because 1 minute we're using EMDR to jump off a building, and now she's writing assessments. What?
Once a month after that. I was never diagnosed as a narcissist, although I've been around plenty of narcissists. And I even have a course that helps people identify.
She has a course. That actually sounds very impressive, right? Dr. G, he has a course. Chase Hughes, my hero, he has a course or 2 or 10. You sort of have to be an expert in something to develop and write a course. Like I have the training and a degree where I do curriculum writing specifically for gifted and talented programs. But I'm trained for that. Like I have a whole master's degree in curriculum development for gifted and talented. How exactly do you have a course, me again? Is this one of those accomplishments like your non-certified coaching that you just believe that you have special knowledge that you can educate other people in your area of non-excellence? You see the problem here, right, y'all? You're picking up on it now. These people who believe that they're destined for greatness, but they literally they've not put in any kind of investment, work, time to develop greatness. But they will demand the respect of one who is great. I don't know, Megan, you're given some very strange parallels to some diagnostic criterion.
Bullying and controlling behaviors, which I think you probably know, otherwise you wouldn't have made this comment. Welcome, trolls. Good to see you. Knew you would be here.
Oh, she just okay. So now she calls a woman who asks a question in the side chat that me again has 100% control over whether or not she puts that comment up for everyone to watch and for her to respond to. She has control. She has control of what she puts up on her desktop to respond to. So somebody explained to me why this non-expert, why would she, out of all the comments that are being made in her channel, why would she choose a comment like, when were you diagnosed as a narcissist? Why would she put that up for her to respond to? Because she wants to stick it to someone. She's got to present herself as a victim. It's worked for Wawin. It's worked for Trisha. It damn sure works for Brittany J. You present yourself as a victim. You go through the steps to trigger trauma bonding in subscribers who may be lonely or depressed, or maybe they've got a history of abuse, and you get them bonded to you in an unhealthy way, and then they will just give you their money magically. So she's following the recipe. Megan, you can go ahead and sit over there and pretend, hello, my darlings. You go ahead and do all that. You can play your stupid ass games. You can do that whole 9 yards. But here's the reality. There's an awful lot of us on the platform that do have knowledge, and we're watching the manipulations and the exploitation of good people. You had 100% freedom to not respond to that lady. But what do? You put it up on the desktop, and then you call her a troll. Your behavior is one of trolling. She's just telling you the way she's responding to you. Incredible.
So yeah, EMDR therapy about 18 months. And then after that, I was able to just sort of do check-ins. And I finished my intensive outpatient therapy.
Intensive outpatient.
In
Again, we got to be special, right? It can't just be, I'm going to therapy. Why can't we just go to therapy, Megan? Why does it have to be intensive outpatient? Why? Because it gives you a sign that says, I'm the victim, I'm fragile, take care of me, believe me, don't challenge me, and you feel like it makes you special somehow. No, millions of people have been helped through EMDR and other forms of therapy. Millions of people. It's very beneficial that you found EMDR and it worked for you, and I'm happy for you. But it doesn't make you special. It doesn't turn you into an expert who can develop curriculum and courses and train other people. It doesn't do that.
The summer of 2019. And that was when my cousin Lori Vallow-Daybell and her brother Alex, who's also my cousin, obviously, started unaliving people.
Kill.
So I was.
The word you're looking for, Megan, is murder. Kill. That's the word. This foolishness of YouTube creators playing these games of semantics. Oh, he was unalived. Why exactly are you doing that? Because you think somehow you're protecting your monetization if you don't use the word kill, if you don't use the word murder. Is that why? Is this a video that you're going to open up for kids to watch anyway? No, of course not. You think the AI machines that are running YouTube, you think they don't know that unalive is now a surrogacy for the word murder? Of course they do. Be an adult. Use your words. Communicate effectively. Stop manipulating people. And now you're trying to manipulate machines.
Far into my new life as a healed person after complex PTA.
You're a healed person. You're literally going through rather impressive machinations to revise your history that was recorded on YouTube for the whole world to record and save to their external hard drives. And you think you're a healed person. Okay.
Started unaliving people.
No, killed.
So I was this far into my new life as a healed person after complex PTSD when my family trauma started all back up again. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to write about my experiences in healing because I recognized in my group therapy that a lot of the women who were there with me were not making a lot of progress. And some of them I watched come in and out of the group, and I watched them sort of fall back into those old familiar patterns again and re-traumatize themselves. And I didn't see a lot of good examples in my life of women who had been through what I had been through and who had come out the other side and have successful and happy lives. And so I wanted to write about that experience as a way to help other survivors.
She is the good example. Finally, significance, right, Megan? Finally, you found that sword that you can die on. If I go through 18 months, 2 years of intensive outpatient therapy, twice a week groups, individual EMDR, and not a single solitary soul is making progress. Not one good example that you can use as a role model. But never fear, Megan is here. She shall be the one triumphant, healed person out of all those people. 18 months of intensive outpatient EMDR, twice a week group, individual therapy. She will serve as the standard for being healed from, what'd you say? Complex trauma? Megan. You think there's a before healing and an after healing state? I would categorically say 100% you are wrong. People heal by learning to embrace healthy behaviors in spite of the complex traumas in childhood and the re-victimization. You think they're re-victimizing themselves, or do you think that is the natural course of complex trauma that you seem to be very, very callous to? That you believe you're the one success story to come out of this big program that you were in. You're being very callous to the process of change. I don't think we compare each other. Well, is my healing better than Sally Ann's healing? Is Sally Ann's healing from complex trauma, is hers more, is she better than Rex's healing? Oh, bad word. Rex Uriman probably could have used a little bit of intensive outpatient EMDR treatment. You know what I mean? But no, Megan is so special that out of an 18-month intensive outpatient program, making use of EMDR and other therapies, she's the only one healed. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely fascinating.
Especially women, because the statistics are not in our favor. People who grow up with traumatic childhoods and have further trauma happen in their lives typically end up either addicted or not alive by this time in their lives. And so I wrote a book called I Walked Through Fire to Get Here. And
not typically. Megan, do you know how many people experience trauma in childhood and then they are re-traumatized as they go through the trials and tribulations of adulthood, and they continue to work hard and live healthy, productive lives? Do you know how many? You just called all of those people with complex trauma, you just called them, drug addicts or dead. Now, I get it, Megan. You're working really, really hard to be special. You're working really, really hard to make your claim on why everybody should buy your book, that you are the one sole good role model to healing after complex trauma. But you know what? I got thousands of names of people that healed. I got thousands of names, tens of thousands of names of people that were horribly brutalized in childhood and are now living big, healthy, significant lives. No addiction, no suicide, no death. I think you are very manipulative to the people that listen to your channel, and this kind of talk just burns me up. It just burns me up. It's so irresponsible.
It's over here somewhere.
What are we doing? Are we looking for her trophy? Does she need to get her trophy to prove that she's the one sole survivor of complex trauma? Is that what she's doing? Because look, she wrote the book. She's manipulating her subscribers. She's convincing them that she has something to teach. She has something to say that her subscribers can't get anywhere else. That if they only buy her book, that's all they need. They too will heal. She will serve as the role model to heal their complex trauma. If this doesn't make you mad, you're not paying attention to the reality of what's happening here in this channel. If Trisha petitioning a judge to be named executor to $1 million estate that Beth B herself did not put Trisha's name on, you're not paying attention. If the fact that John Matthias wanted to have Christina arrested and hopefully they could get 5 charges, thereby she would be looking at 25 years in prison, you are not paying attention. You are being disingenuous. You want to know why these creators are why they are growing and proliferating? Because we subscribers are lacking integrity. Makes me mad. Makes me mad. I'm not gonna get on YouTube and convince people to buy my books or to start therapy. I'm not going to do it. You want to know why? Because there's an ethics code. There's an ethics code that governs my career, the people in my career, that says do not exploit vulnerable people. What you're doing is so wrong, Megan. This is so wrong. I hope you do go to court. I hope you do try to sue somebody, because this little thing right here where you're about to pull your trophy book out, you're about to try to get people to buy it and give you money, they're gonna take you to lunch and back.
And have further trauma happen in their lives, typically end up either addicted or not alive by this time in their lives. And so Terrible. I wrote a book called I Walked Through Fire to Get Here. And it's over here somewhere.
That's right, Rachel and Carolina.
I wrote this book as a love letter to other survivors. So they would know that they weren't alone. And so they know that it was possible to come through the other side and have a...
You wrote that book so they would know that it's possible to come through the other side, when you literally moments ago, you said that people with complex trauma are either addicted or dead by this time, and that you stand as the one sole model of a person that was able to heal themselves. What? Megan? This is disgusting. This crosses a line that I hadn't even seen Lauren Matthias do. This is awful.
And have a happy and productive life. And I finished that book in pretty much February of 2023. And in April of 2023, I was working on getting it published. And that was when Lori's first trial started. And I had sort of put away...
Oh, you guys don't think that it was designed to coincide, do you? No, I don't think that's possible. I don't think... You would have to be a pretty cold, cruel, psychopathic bitch to look at the murders of 2 little kids and say, hey, I'm going to hurry up and write a shitty little book because I know that my stupid cousin, that quote unquote, that's what she calls Lori, my stupid cousin. My stupid cousin's going to be going on trial for the murders of children. And I'm going to start me a YouTube channel, and I'm going to market myself as Lori's not stupid cousin, and that I knew her in childhood, and I'm going to tell bullshit stories about our childhood. And then I'm going to put my book up. Marketing, baby, the capitalistic way. It can't be possible that I'm the only one that's angry. Surely someone else is looking at this going, gross. Hey, Crystal Lake Beaver, longest official name in YouTube. How are you doing? Does this make anybody mad? Is this not a shockingly blind and tone deaf display of infantile, egotistical drive for capitalistic endeavor? It's terrible. It's absolutely unbelievable. The problem with MC is that she tries very hard to be a victim and an overachiever. She reminds me of Nurse Ratched from the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Seriously, Caroline. 100% Nurse Ratched. There you go. I'm there for that. That was a very good analogy. Yep. Entitlement. Yes, Crystal. Yes. I hope, you know what aristocratic Nietzschean enigma, 1023. I would hope that wasn't true, that we were not all mind-controlled slaves or robots. I fear probably more of us than I would want to feel comfortable with, right? I do wish there were more people that were being discerning, that were listening to YouTube creators and really considering what they're saying. Is this person being honest? Is this person being ethical or moral? Am I being exploited? Is this person just trying to get money out of me? Like, I think we have to find a way to do that, because right now there's some really dastardly actions that are taking place, and there's a lot of good subscribers that are just confused. I think I prefer to believe that they're confused than that they're cruel and cold. I don't want to believe that, but I don't know. Linda Lou, it makes me angry. It's the same thing as me going on YouTube and exploiting my brother's murder for sympathy and grift. Yes. This woman does not have enough room for her and her ego in the same house. Bingo. Thank you, Linda Lou. Well said. So well said. She is being a capitalist. Yeah, but you know what? She's selling aristocratic Nietzschean ma. I'm going to get your name before it's over with. Aristocratic Nietzschean ma. Aristocratic Nietzschean ma. Oh, maybe that's it. Aristocratic Nietzschean ma. That's it. You know what? She may be a capitalist, but you know what she's selling? She's selling cheap plastic Chinese shit. That's the truth. Look, I'm a capitalist. Make your own business. I'm good. I think we should all be business owners. It drives the US economy. I'm good with business owners, but not when you're selling crap. She's selling crap here. You never stop healing. It's an addiction. You get better, but it's always with you, especially the childhood trauma. It bothers me. I'm still here and old and not an addict. Thank you, Star Child. A little bit of just a moment here. So the problem with complex trauma, where you have an original trauma of childhood, and then it continues to be triggered and re-traumatizing as you age through adulthood, right? Here's the problem with it. When the brain is plastic or high plasticity, where it's sort of it's young enough that it's programmed to learn, it's programmed to absorb and change with experience. If you have trauma experiences during that period of high plasticity, then trauma modifies because you're so young when you have the trauma and the brain is growing and changing. Trauma gets woven into the change. It is intricately woven into all of your experiences. And it is a very long process of learning how your trauma is affecting even something as small as, why do I choose to drink water out of plastic bottles instead of the sink? It can affect why I prefer this color to this color. When the trauma happens during a period of time for a high plasticity, you can't extricate the trauma from your everyday learning experiences. So you can never eradicate the trauma. Like if you're in adulthood and you have a traumatic experience, you can get to a point where you can isolate that trauma and then you can minimize its effects. And eventually, through repeated experiences, you can just do away with the trauma. Like it never was there before. With complex trauma occurring early in life when neurologically there was high plasticity, it's so interwoven with your learning experiences and all of the developmental tasks that you're achieving that it becomes a part of your identity. Not that you become a victim, but that it exerts influence. And the process of healing is, how does it still affect me in today's life? And then what do I need to do to minimize that effect so I can go on and make good, healthy decisions and live a good, strong, happy life, right? And there are many successful people, many people that have healed successfully and navigated the process. And they're growing every day. They're learning every day. There's not a, today you graduate because you have healed from your complex trauma. That does not exist. All right. I hope that made sense, and maybe provides a tiny little bit of insight why I take issue with what Megan is saying about how she was the only successful role model in learning how to heal from complex trauma. Just one out of 18 months, just her.
My relationship with her and all my feelings about everything that happened until she went on trial. And then I started seeing in media people talking about her in a way that I felt was inaccurate. People started saying things like she was a cupcake mom, she was a wonderful mother her whole life, and then all of a sudden she met Chad Daybell and she snapped. And
I literally, look, here's the truth. I actually watched some videos that Colby and his wife put up before any of this happened. It was a weird experience, but it happened, and that was cool because I enjoyed their little channel they were doing. I found on YouTube, I found videos of the Daybell children who were like making little skits, singing songs, doing plays. And there was video of Tammy Daybell. And I reached out to the oldest brother and requested if I could show a snippet of one of these little, skits that they did. He said yes, and then he proceeded to strike my channel. So he's a jerk, straight up. Okay. So I was watching this like as it was unfolding, like every step of the way. Not once ever did I see anyone describe Lori as a cupcake mom. Did you guys get that at all? Did you see anywhere anybody saying, "Oh, Lori was the best mom. She was so warm and she was there for her children, and then bad old Chad messed it up"? Did any of you? Do you want to be a Mormon? That's right, Crystal. That's so funny. You remember that. Hey, Shirley Graff, welcome. So I don't remember this the way she's describing this. I don't remember this story at all. The woman had 5 or 6 marriages. I think Colby, I think he was vocal. I love my mom. She's a good mom. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? But remember, guys, remember when we started getting all of the discovery information, and there were like child therapy notes going all the way to Austin, Texas, before she ever left Texas, where she was lying to the child therapist, making horrible accusations. Every single one of her ex-husbands, she's accusing of the same vile behavior. No one thought that there was a single thing healthy about Lori. I do think a lot of people said that she was beautiful. I think there were a lot of people that said she was a pretty woman, and she is. But no, I don't remember this story she's telling, that Lori was just a normal old soccer mom. She was there no matter what. She was great. Kay Vallow had her hands full trying to help her brother Charles take care of JJ because Lori was so unstable. Y'all remember that? No, I don't know where she's getting this story from, but it makes her look like the hero, doesn't it? Again, this is no, he's not John Smith. There's a lot of people that believe that that Joe Ryan was actually Lori's first victim, that Lori killed Joe Ryan, and that got some money for Tylee. So there's people that believe she was up to no good for quite a while, but the story she's telling, again, looking for significance in a situation where there's not like big accomplishment or anything. What she's saying is that this horrible story was playing out on the world stage, and that everybody was running around saying that Lori was a sweet innocent until she met Chad, and then she snapped and Chad made her, break bad. And that she had she being Megan, she had a moral imperative to have a platform and proclaim to the world that Lori was a bad person, and that she was the only person willing to do that. Oh, and here's my book by my book. You see the problem? This is more, yes, anarchy. I agree with you. This is more of invented significance, something designed to make her look like she's special and that she's a martyr and she's doing things that don't benefit her. No, 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 no. It's only for the greater benefit, the greater good. But here's my book. Buy my book. Okay. I believe Joe Ryan was not Colby's real dad, the husband. Oh, yeah. What was that dude's name? Hispanic guy. Shoot. Was it Louis or Lewis? I don't know. I'll have to look. I've got a YouTube, like a PowerPoint presentation. I'll go back and look at it after this. But yes. Are you sure that was? Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe Joe Ryan was Tylee's dad. And he adopted Colby. I'm going to need to look at that. Yep. All right. Oh, look at Shirley. Shirley coming in here being so sweet. Thank you, my friend. She is gifted 5 memberships. If you are the proud recipient of a membership, will you please thank Shirley, our friend? Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate it so much. The cultishness of the LDS and strong belief in their own superiority warps young minds. Well, and I want to be fair too. A lot of religion will say we're special, we're better, we're different. You can't be these other religions, only this one true religion. That does happen. Yes, Joe was Tylee's dad. Yeah, was that guy's name Lewis? The first one that she married, the Hispanic guy. Was it Lewis? I can't remember his name. Hi, I'm Grillsy. Something about LDS creates people who need to believe they're special and they can't cope with being normal every day. You know what I say, I am Grillsy? Embrace your mediocrity. That is a life of low stress. And I think we should all be on a major quest for peace. All right. That's my own personal philosophy. Quest for peace.
I knew that was not the case. And I was very familiar with the family dynamics that affected, I thought, how she evolved religiously. And so I started talking publicly about that, not really intending for my book and my social media presence and all of that to overlap. In fact, if you go back.
Are you sure, Megan? Are you really sure that's where you want to go with this?
And you look at my Instagram, third_verse Instagram, and you look at my very first videos that I posted, they are all about family dynamics. They are all about healing from trauma. And none of it was anything to do with my cousin.
Just very, very curious timing that you finished your book and published it as her first trial was getting started, right? It's just, what about executive decisions? What about saying, oh, you know what? I've written this book on healing and my personal biography, my journaling of healing. I don't really want to conflate that with the murders of JJ and Tylee. I don't want my mental health information. I don't want that to get distracted by this trial and this heinous, awful life that my cousin did. I can wait. I can wait 1 year to publish my book. Or another executive decision, Megan, for the honest and the ethical, I'm not commenting on my cousin. I'm here to talk about my biography and my journey for personal healing. You did none of that. You took the fervor that surrounded Lori Vallow's nightmare, the things that she did to her children and husbands and Tammy Daybell, and you took that and you placed your channel, your social media presence, your book right at the top of her head to capitalize on her notoriety. That's what you did.
my book is available on Amazon, and I'm going to talk a little bit about self-publishing, and I'm going to talk a little bit about finances today because I want to be transparent with you guys, and I also.
But it's not about finances. It's just that you needed to serve as the one true model of healing from complex trauma without there being a problem of addiction or death. Isn't that what you said? Why would we want to do something so crass as to include money? Oh, unless that was the point all along, right? Me again. I mean, I'm feeling, just mildly uncomfortable that it does seem to just go perfectly together, hand in hand with money. Like everything you've said so far today, it's like money, 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 money. Maybe this is the switch over. Maybe going from I serve as the one true example of healing from complex trauma, maybe this switch to money, maybe this is the revolution of which you spoke. Like, I'm really trying to understand what it is that you're saying to us, Megan. This is her revolution. All right, that is terrible audio. We better end that because that was bad. All right. So you get my point. This is her revolution. She's going to get you all up in your feels. She's going to get you feeling all bad and hurt and sad. And then the revolution part is when she starts collecting your money.
Space. And I want people to know and understand what it takes to do what I've done.
To be as great as Megan. She's going to talk about how you too can achieve her level of greatness.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about finances today because I want to be transparent with you guys. And I also think there are not enough people that talk about finances in this space. And I want people to.
She doesn't think there's enough people talking about finances in this space. What? I'm so confused. Trisha talks about finances a lot. Wowin, she and John, they got lots of conversations about finances. I don't even know what that could mean, Megan.
To know and understand what it takes to do what I've done. Thank you, Margaret. You've always been a wonderful supporter. I appreciate you so much. So I started talking publicly about Lori. And then, after I published my book in June, actually July 4th of 2023 is when it came out.
July 4th, 2023.
I started going on other people's podcasts to talk about my book. And the more and more that I spoke on other people's podcasts, the more I realized that I wanted to have a podcast of my own where I could talk about the things that were important to me. Chiefly among them being healing from trauma. And my first 2 seasons of my podcast are all about healing and healing from trauma and healing from religious abuse.
Listen to the tremor in her voice. Listen to it. Up until now, her voice has been just as smooth as it could be. When she starts talking about money, she's scared. How weird is that? Listen to her voice go all shaky and trembling. And you're right. It was William LaGoya. Thank you so much for that. You're exactly right.
The more and more that I spoke on other people's podcasts, the more I realized that I wanted to have a podcast of my own where I could talk about the things that were important to me,
Where I could make
chiefly
money,
among them being healing from trauma.
like
And my
Lauren.
first 2 seasons of my podcast are all about healing and healing from trauma and healing from religious abuse and that type of subject material. My podcast happened to launch in April of 2024. That was just when I got it together. That was also when Chad Daybell was on trial. And I did, some more interviews talking about Chad and Lori, and I did some more work on my YouTube channel talking about Chad and Lori. And I, sort of all of that sort of started to get muddled together. My YouTube channel and my podcast and all of that, just blended together for a long time because it made sense for me to talk about the family dynamics, to talk about healing, and also to bring in everything that I learned about how to heal.
Wait, why? Why did that make sense? Is this your way of saying that Lori caused your complex trauma? Like, are you attributing your trauma to Lori? Because last I heard, you blamed it all on your mom and your dad and your siblings. So why now is it Lori's fault? You're lying, in my opinion. People called you out and they said, how can you cover this trial with your cousin and the murders and you're sitting there telling us to buy your book? How can you do that? That's wrong. It's unethical. It's bad. Some people might even call it immoral. And now you are revising history because you want to be able to go to a judge and you want to say, I want to sue these baddies in YouTube land who bullied me, and they made people not want to watch my YouTube channel on healing. And that is not why you lost views on YouTube. Your YouTube channel was never about healing from complex trauma. Your YouTube channel was 100% exploitative, grifting to make money off of the murders of JJ and Tylee and Charles and Tammy. That is what your channel was about. And as long as there were trials going, whether it was Lori's first one, Chad, Lori's second one, third one, no matter, as long as that was in the news, as long as that was going on, you were making money with your YouTube channel. And once the final decision was made, Lori was sent back to prison, never again to be seen or heard from if there is a God. Your YouTube views fell off because people put that story to bed. Enough is enough. That's why people quit watching, because your content, you molded it around Lori and Chad. And when the story was over, so was that channel. The same thing happened to Lauren Matthias, and she was smart enough to make a transition. She figured out quickly, I'm going to have to find another dead kid to mold into an income. You didn't understand it. That's it. You are rewriting history. You are trying to give significance to a channel that never existed. It was never like that. Never. And now you want to accuse someone, me, Jolene, whoever you decide to sue, you want to say they caused my drop off in funding. They caused people not to come and watch anymore. Oh, just like everything else in your channel, there's going to be a direct correlation to Lori Vallow's trials and the end of Lori Vallow's trials. Everything. You think people are stupid, and you can say, oh, well, I published my book 7/4/2023, which just so accidentally happened to coincide with Lori's first trial. My new podcast just so happened to coincide with the beginning of Chad Daybell's trial. Oh, that was accidental too, wasn't it? You're going to get laughed out of court because you're superficial and you're arrogant enough to believe that other people are not smarter than you. And they are.
And yes, I went on Mormon Stories also in May. I think it was maybe May 1st of 2023. I was about maybe 3 months fresh on my faith deconstruction and 3 months out of the church. It was pretty wild. And looking back on the evolution of how all of this happened, I'm actually very proud of what I have done and what I have built with my bare hands. I started doing coaching way back in October of 2023, shortly after my book came out, really by
coaching. October 2023, she starts coaching. Softball, business, accounting. Teaching? What are we coaching, Megan? What's your excellence? October 2023. Notice how she says what she built with her two hands, what she built all on her own. Oh, you didn't build it with the deaths of JJ and Tylee? Really?
About maybe 3 months fresh on my faith deconstruction and 3 months out of the church. It was pretty wild. And looking back on the evolution of how all of this happened, I'm actually very proud of what I have done and what I have built with my bare hands. I started doing coaching way back in October of 2023, shortly after my book came out, really by, sort of people DMing me and asking me questions and saying, can you talk about this topic? And I'd love to hear your opinion on this. And I have this very specific situation, etc. So I started my coaching business almost, 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago.
I'm going to let you guys take a guess. All right. Do you guys believe that there was anything of significance that happened with Lori Vallow in October of 2023? Because by her own admission, these big hallmark days of releases or starting something new, it seems to coincide with trials, the beginning of trials. Did something happen in October of 2023 related to Lori Vallow Daybell? You bet your sweet ass it did. October 25th, 2023, the Idaho governor, Brad Little, signed an extradition order allowing Lori Vallow to be sent to Arizona, where she would then stand trial for the murder of Charles Vallow. Wow, Megan, another coincidence. Sincerely, Megan, how stupid do you think people are? Like, really, you are going to look so foolish. You are going to look so foolish. Yeah, she's Kathy. Literally, you are looking at a human being right here who is using the murders of JJ and Tylee, two little kids, right? She is using their murders as a step stool to try to make money. Does that bother anyone? Anybody? You can say, like with Lauren Matthias, she's a reporter, right? she's a reporter. She was in the story. I mean, she was exploiting people, but she was getting information that other reporters didn't have. And all of her content was about the murders. All of her content was about the trials. She wasn't tricking people. She was just being what she is, and that's what she was selling. The problem with what Megan did and is doing now, the problem is that she didn't have anything to bring to the table where Lori Vallow was concerned, or even the family, because nobody in the family would talk to this heifer. So what did she do? She wrote a shitty little book, and then she used, when she would go on platforms and talk, make her own videos, it was all about, I am Lori Vallow's cousin. I am a murderer's cousin. I knew Lori Vallow when she was young. I am their cousin. I am their family. Buy my book. On what? That you're the only person that ever healed from complex trauma without being an addict or without being dead? This is the height of exploitation. This is fraudulent. Now she wants to sue. She wants to sue because she doesn't have any money. And if you keep listening to this video, she's going to go into how much money she doesn't have. But she has to be wronged for her to sue someone, right? So she's chosen YouTubers. She said, because you covered me, you reported on me, and what I was talking about and what I was saying and what I was doing, you are responsible for no one watching my channel anymore. They all stopped watching my channel because you guys were exposing me. I'm sorry, Megan. People stopped watching your channel because you set your channel up to be about the deaths of JJ and Tylee. That's why people stopped watching. You're the one that made that command decision, Missy. Oh, look at the trolls. The trolls are here. No, we're not trolls. We're human beings that are logical, and we're watching another human being behave in a way that is absolutely revolting.
And I spent about $3,000 getting my book self-published. I spent another couple $1,000s on, getting a website together and all of that. My coaching and book.
Wait a minute.
Was all.
Did she say she spent $3,000 getting a website together? Is that what she said? Did I hear that right? Is that what she said? Megan, I don't believe you, because websites don't cost $3,000. Websites don't cost $3,000. I don't know who the hell's lying to you. My website, my work website, which has enhanced encryption, I think my bill is like $140 a month. 3,000? You liar. You are oh my God. Oh my God.
Just an expensive hobby. My podcasting, my coaching, and my book, it cost a lot of money to get those things up and running. And I spent way more than I made for probably at least the first year. And then things started to go south with my career, my job. I recognized that the company I was working for was in trouble. It was probably not going to last very long. And sure enough, in July of 2024, the CEO eliminated my position and the position of another person that was working parallel to me. And so I decided to double down on my coaching, to make my course, to double down on my YouTube channel, and to do that for a living. And I did it. I built a business around my book, my coaching, my podcasting, and my YouTube channel that was paying my bills. Frankly, it was doing really well. And by the end of Lori's Arizona trial in April, I was making enough money to not have any other side hustles or work. It was just this channel, this space, my book, my coaching, my podcast, and that's all. And I'm incredibly proud of that. I built that business and this community with my bare hands. And I
hate to bust your bubble. During that period of time that you're referring to, Lauren and John Matthias made $3 million off of nothing but the Daybell Vallow murders. You might want to consider that before you start suing people.
Did it because I wanted to help people. I wanted to help other survivors.
She did not do it to make money. How dare you think that? This was only to help people. She is a loving, giving spirit, guys. Okay, that's all. She's just trying to help people, but nothing else.
Survivors of trauma to...
You didn't try to help Pressure, did you?
To talk about the difficulties that they were going through and to have a community that was supportive and kind. And
you didn't seem to care at all what Crescia was going through. Why is that exactly? You're such a noble, giving saint of a girl. You forgot about Crescia? Like, why? That's so strange to me. You didn't have any trouble supporting Trisha, a lady who's trying to steal an old woman's $1 million estate. That didn't bother you either, did it? Okay.
That is what I have always wanted for what I called then the midlife revolution. Now it's just the revolution, because now it's time to change everything again.
You say you want a revolution.
So that's where I was after Lori's trial was over, trying to decide what direction my channel was going to go in, sitting at this intersection of narcissism and true crime and trauma healing, and really starting to report on cases that I felt were...
This is rich. The intersection of true crime, narcissism, and healing, that's her specialty. Prosaic much? Megan, you just made my point for me.
Go in sitting at this intersection of narcissism and true crime and trauma healing.
I'm going to ask, where's the narcissist? Are you the narcissist? Where's the narcissist? I'm struggling a little bit here. I'm a little unsure because you said today that your channel is about healing and you've written a curriculum and you've written a book and you're only here to help. That's all. Where's the narcissist? If you're just here for the good of others and that you're the one sole example of healing from complex trauma of childhood, who's the narcissist in this mix? Because if you stay with really this is about Lori Vallow and what she did, then I understand the crossroads, the intersection. Then I understand Lori and Chad are the narcissists, right? I'm good with that. But that's not what the position that you've just made is that this has nothing to do with Lori Vallow. It's only about you, your autobiographical account for healing, and that you stand as the model for us to be able to heal. Where's the narcissist? They tell on themselves every time.
And really starting to report on cases that I felt were important. And part of the conversation was, unhealthy family dynamics, unhealed wounds lead people to do crazy things. And that's where we get a lot of these true crime situations, and also around protecting children from.
Yeah, it's where we get a lot of these YouTube creators too, Megan. Narcissism plays a big role in true crime creators, for sure.
CSA, and also being an advocate for DV survivors, as I am one myself. So that's kind of where I was sitting.
Oh, do we need to add that to the list of victimhood? She needs to be pitied. She's a victim of trolls, online bullying, child sexual abuse, being forced to create child sexual products, videos, and now she is a domestic violence survivor. Summer Shiflett said all of this in a phone call that's recorded long before any of this came out. I mean, your list of victimization, it is long and distinguished. Like, you seem to be, were you kidnapped as a little kid? Flown to Epstein's Island, perhaps? So much manipulation.
My friend Lauren went live and talked about a situation that was very troubling and traumatic for her.
Troubling and traumatic for what? Oh, because her bad behavior was being exposed, right? That's why she was troubled. She was troubled because she talked so much mad shit about Kay Woodcock, about Kresha, about the family of legit murder victims, and she was about to be exposed. That what you talking about? Okay, I'm triggered. I'm really angry because I just despise manipulation.
And I was there to witness some of what happened to her and her producer, Grayson. And, Lauren being a close friend of mine, and also me having some commentary because I witnessed some of this stuff.
Lauren Matthias is your close friend. She was pretty brutal against you too. She said terrible things about you in those texts that we've now all seen. What? You didn't see them, Megan? Or you just don't want to lose those views because, after all, she's the babe with 300,000 subscribers that you're riding her coattails, right? Well, if it's been a successful business model, you're riding her coattails. Why does your channel have no activity on it? Why? Oh, I know. Because of the bullies, right? Foolish me.
And recognizing the unhealthy relational dynamics of the women who were involved, I wanted to comment on it. And I also wanted to try and point out some problems and some inconsistencies in the other, reporting that was going on.
Boy, she's nervous, isn't she? Listen to her voice shake. She can't listen how scared she is. Listen.
Reporting that was going on.
Reporting that was going on, or actual facts that were being exposed by hella excited utterances? Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about the actual truth about what Lauren was saying about these people, about Kay and Larry Woodcock, about Kresha, about Colby Ryan? John, did you contact Colby? John, did you reach out to Colby? John, you need to befriend Colby. Hey, my husband's a psychologist. He can help Colby. You want my husband to get in touch with Colby? Snakes.
So I want to address these things as they come up. Mindswimmers, great to see you again. Thanks for the second comment. You haven't earned the right to claim to be a life coach just to get the grift. Are you broke? So
good
grifting,
call, Mindswimmers.
by definition, is basically small-time swindling. If any of you have felt as though you've been swindled, I welcome your comments at askmegan with 2 E's at gmail.com, MEEGAN. When I decided to do coaching,
Did she say Megan with 2 E's? Is that what she said? Did she say Megan with 2 E's? Oh, girl, you got it worse than I thought. She said Megan with 2 E's. Oh, my God. Wow, I am. Oh, she's full of it, Carolina. Full of it. Yes, ma'am. If she were smart, she would distance herself from Lauren and just do her own thing on her own channel. And look, Mama Dora, let me tell you this. You are 100% right on. And the reason that I say that you're right on is that mental health content thrives on this platform. It does. People want to heal, they want to feel better. And whether the content is just to hear the stories of other people that have experienced things that you've experienced, or whether it's actual psychologists that are doing content on healing and getting healthy, people flock to that kind of content. They love it. And if I ever retire from my actual job, then I probably will start up a YouTube channel that is mental health related. But I follow my ethics code like a Bible. And I'm not going to do something on my YouTube channel that has any sort of a parallel to what I do in real life. I'm not going to go there. That is exploitative. It's not exploitative, but what it does is it opens up a potential appearance of unethical behavior or an actual problem that could be set up. So I don't go have drinks with patients. I don't go out to dinner with patients, and I don't make YouTube channels that could be considered an extension of my career because I follow my ethics, right? So this is, we've now gone into a territory here with this chickadee that she's a mess.
I decided not to become certified because I looked at all of these different certification programs, and it looked like a lot of them were charging hundreds or even thousands of dollars for people to come in and have a framework around how to run a coaching business.
Yeah, you know what? To get a psychologist, to become a licensed psychologist, probably 150,000. Probably in today's world, probably $180,000, $250,000 to become a licensed psychologist. But hey, just become a self-proclaimed life coach, and if you're good at bullshit, you can try to get people to pay you for nonsense and just completely avoid actually getting real training and experience. I mean, it works for the best grifters among us.
But not really giving them the tools and the information that they need
to
interact with people when people are, having a hard time with things. So I've never called myself a life coach. I've really just called myself a coach.
You did call yourself a life coach.
I believe that a lot of what I work with people on all comes down to the same issue. And most of it is a self-love issue. A lot of times we don't love ourselves to make the choices that we know that are right for us because we're trying to please other people or because we're trying to consider other people's experience.
Y'all hear that, right? Every single one of you in the chat, every one of you, any kind of real issues that you're facing in your life, be it panic attack, be it deep depression, be it delusional thinking, identity disturbance, maybe anorexia, bulimia, every single issue, all of you, you only need to know one thing: Megan's form of self-love. Does this sound like mental health information, or does this sound like a charismatic cult leader? You're dangerous, girl. You're dangerous. You need to stay far away from people looking for help.
Experience before our
Take me to court. Take me to court. Let's have a discussion in front of the judge whether you need to be providing information to people that legitimately could benefit from actual real treatment. This is so much worse than I thought it was.
own. So no, I don't have any certification in life coaching, but also, and what life coaching is sort of a wild west out there. You can charge anything that you want and you can say anything that you want, and there's no regulatory board.
That's called a grift. That's what it's called. You want to know why? Because regulatory boards, i.e. licensing boards that are actually run by the state in which you practice, those are highly regulated. Just ask John Matthias about being regulated by your state licensing board, being told to get extra training, extra supervision. You're sitting there saying, oh, well, I don't need to, I can just be any kind of coach I want to because there's no regulatory board. It's the Wild West, baby. It's the Wild West. I can charge what I want to. And if you are a big enough dumbass to pay it, then that's on you. It's not on me. She's telling you guys to your face. Do you care that she has this much disrespect for you as a human being? Do you care? It wouldn't bother her to take your money knowing full well that she has no idea what would help you or if she is in any way competent in providing that help. She doesn't care. She wants to separate you from your money. Megan, here's a clue. You could sell hugs. That's unregulated too. Become a prostitute. Oldest profession in the world, unregulated unless you're in Nevada. But please, leave people alone that are dealing with true mental health problems and challenges. Leave them in peace. Don't make their problems worse with your bullshit about self-love. Don't do that. Don't do that. Have a conscience, lest someone call you Lori.
I will also say that the mental health field is also a little bit of a Wild West. And while they do have state regulatory boards, you can get a therapist who is very damaging because they're unhealed and they don't realize.
Oh, because we don't realize that we're unhealed. We need Megan to help us heal through self-love. Does anybody buy this? Does this not scare you to death that this woman's out there manipulating people? Look, given my choices between Lauren Matthias, Trisha, or Megan with 2 E's, I'm going to take Lauren all day. Sorry. I'm just going to. This is ridiculous. This is yuck. So damaging. You're a horrible you're a horrible person. You are. I don't know what's wrong that your family came up with you and Lori. Something wrong.
That they are. And so I feel like even though therapy goes,
I don't know, Shannon, it's going to be rough.
Seem a little more official. There are therapists out there who work on sliding scales, et cetera. They do have to report to the regulatory board certain things, and they do have ethics to consider. But, the same thing is true of almost anyone in almost any profession. Just because it's regulated doesn't mean it's safe. And just because you're going to a licensed therapist doesn't mean that you're going to get what you pay for. So,
are you stupid? I have to admit something. That was not my finest moment. It did slip out. I shouldn't have said that. But I do want to know, what's your malfunction, Megan? Like, sincerely, what's your malfunction? you're literally telling people in your channel, you're telling them, number one, you can heal them. You're the only one that can heal them. You're the only one that knows how to do it. And you've written your book, so you could be the role model. And then you follow up with, don't waste your money on licensed professionals. Don't waste your money on people that went to school for 10 years and have had supervision and have learned every form of therapy on the planet, every single different type of theory of psychology and change and mental health. Don't you dare waste your money on those people. Come to me. I've written a book. I'm your shining example. No, you're a fraud, you heifer.
Yes, I don't have any kind of a certification, but here's my process. I ask people to sign up for a 20-minute phone call with me where we talk to each other about what they want to work on, because I don't want to charge anybody money before we decide if we're a good fit for each other. And there have been plenty of people.
So it's kind of like a husband, right? It's kind of like you don't really want to cost your man any money until you decide you're a good fit. So you just trick him and tell him that you'll work after you get married. You'll do your part to bring money into the home. And then after you figure out you're a good fit, you're a good manipulator, he's going to buy into all of your bullshit. Then you pull the plug on working and say, well, honey, look, it's the man's job to have the money. Unless you're John Matthias, perhaps.
That I have said, you know what, I don't think that I can help you right now. People who are having
I think she's the
trauma
rapture.
symptoms, etc., I always want them to be working with a licensed therapist at the same time that they're working with me, or to put off working with me until they have done a lot of therapy.
Wait. You are making the recommendation to people that have complex trauma that if they're going to work with you, you're going to demand that they work with a licensed professional. Yeah. Why? Why are you the voice of authority to tell them that they must work with a licensed professional and a coach? What will you be bringing to the table is what I want to know. Because the licensed psychologist, they're going to be focusing on the mood problems and the trauma and how trauma affects that person today. But what are you going to do? That's where it's so murky. That's where you can't understand, like, what is it you think that you know that you're bringing to the table? Like I said, I have a life coach that I refer people to, but it's very specific people who are in need of business coaching, making presentations, dressing the coach has acquired information through years and years of demonstrated experience and success that other people can really benefit from. What do you have? Nothing. You have a damn thing. You're grifting. You're a grifter.
The other part of it is that, I do have my own personal ethics and morals, and I have yet to have anyone write any sort of a complaint to me or anyone else about my coaching, or to ask me for a refund. And if there's anybody out there who has had a negative experience with my coaching, I welcome.
Write a complaint to you. You don't have a licensing board. You've already just sat here and bragged to hell and back that you're unregulated. Who the hell are they going to write a note to exactly? Oh my God, please, guys. There's so many good psychologists out there. There's so many good psychologists out there. Go to Psychology Today, find you a PhD. Your health insurance will pay for it. They will know what they're doing. Please stay away from this nonsense.
For you to write to me, to email me, and heck, make an entire TikTok channel on how much you hate me as a coach. So far, nobody has done that. So far, every single person that I have worked with universally has said that they have appreciated what I've done with them and that they have benefited greatly from our experience together.
And why
now,
is your
it's
business
possible there are people out there who
failing,
just haven't told me that they had a negative experience. And that makes me sad because I welcome the feedback. I always want to be improving and doing better. So I don't know how you earn the right to be a coach, other than the fact that I've always told people I am not an expert on anything but my own trauma. And I hope that me sharing my experiences helps other people remind themselves of their own instincts, which if we follow our own instincts, we usually will do the right thing that we.
You think so? You think people inherently follow their right instincts? You know nothing, lady.
No is good for us in order to heal.
Is that a dog in a cage?
Thank you so much. Just call me Kim for the super sticker. I really.
Is that a dog in a cage? Is there literally a dog in a cage behind her? Why? Why is your dog locked up? Why is your dog locked up in a cage when you're home? I'm going to be sick.
Appreciate you. I know you've been around for a long time supporting NMIC Spunky. It's good to see you as always. Appreciate you too.
Oh, you horrible.
Thanks for being here. I actually, in October, which is where we were before I sort of got sidetracked with
horrible human being. You nasty. Why? Why is your dog locked up when you're at home? You're home. Why do you need? Megan, what's the definition of a psychopath? That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. How many hours a day is that dog in your stupid ass little cage? Why don't you get in that cage and go live from in that cage and let the poor dog out? Why don't you do that? Or put the dog out in the yard, because dogs like to be outside. Why would you need to keep a dog locked up in a cage while you're literally right there? I'm literally surrounded by animals. I've got 2 cats and 2 dogs, and they're all just sort of looking at me like, Mom, why are you upset? What's wrong with you that you wouldn't want your dog just being a part of the family? Yuck. That is cruelty. Thank you, Just Another Human. That is, because you know what my mind is telling me right now? My mind is saying to me, okay, so my dogs, they either stay out in their yard, they have a great yard that's dog friendly, toys everywhere, fresh water, food, beds that are like memory foam, like they are very happy to be my dogs, okay? If it's raining outside or we have bad weather, cold, something like that, then the dogs will come in to sleep and they have cages, big cages where they can move around. And that dog does look like it's got room to move around. But you want to know when the dogs go in the cage? When we are going to bed. So when it's time for me to go to bed, I yell at my dogs and say, come on, we got to go home. And then they happily go run and jump in their cages. And they're so excited because they get a treat. And we play a little game for a few minutes. And then I lock it up and then we go to bed. And guess what? When we wake up first thing in the morning, the first thing my husband does is open the cage doors and lets them out in the yard to go to the bathroom. But during the rest of the day, they're just walking around the house. It's just home to them. They have toys they play with. I can tell my one little dog, Sage, I can tell her to go pick her toys up, and she'll go and she'll pick every one of her toys up and put in the toy basket. Every one of them. She'll run around and she'll pick them all up and put them up, and then she'll wait for her treat. Do you know how smart dogs are, you cretin? What in the world would be so precious in your house that you, while you're doing a live stream, you can't let that little dog out to run around the house? Wow. I'm grossed out by you. I'm legit grossed out by you, Megan. Legitimately. That is cruel. That is disgusting behavior. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
That little comment there. I realized that what was being said about me on some other channels was inaccurate. And I also realized that I couldn't possibly try to debunk all of the misinformation that was out there about me.
It wasn't misinformation.
And I also could not possibly change anybody's mind about me. And so that's not what I'm here to do, because I literally can't do that. All I can do is continue to produce the content that I believe is going to be helpful to other people.
You can't even take care of your dog. What makes you think you have any business whatsoever dealing with someone who has complex trauma? Stay away at all cost. Oh my gosh. Hey, Language of Horses, welcome. Her uncle said that she does nothing but lie, and he was obviously correct. Is that Adam? Oh my God, I wish I hadn't seen that dog. I just feel sick to my stomach now. You know that dog stays locked up all day long. You bet it does. God, you evil bitch.
And when other people have negative things to say about it, or if it's not helpful to them, they're entitled to their opinion. Thank you so much, Web Sleuth. You've always been a great supporter. I did see Stacy in the chat as well, so thank you so much.
Look at this here.
I really appreciate you guys.
Smoke up her ass.
I actually stopped taking coaching clients back in October because
amazing.
I was troubled and disturbed by what was being said about me publicly, and I knew there was nothing that I could do to change it or combat that information. And I started to become very deeply depressed about it because I was watching as I was losing subscribers, I was losing Patreon subscribers, I was losing coaching clients. And when I say losing, thank you so much, Becky. I appreciate you. When I say losing, I just mean that I would see people who I had coached one-on-one in the chats of these other channels giving super chats to the people who were telling lies about me.
Listen how funny. Listen. This is great. I love this. Listen.
About it, because I was watching as I was losing subscribers, I was losing Patreon subscribers, I was losing coaching clients. And when I say losing, thank you so much, Becky. I appreciate you. When I say losing, I just mean that I would see people who I had coached one-on-one in the chats of these other channels giving super chats to the people who were telling lies about me. And so I consider.
But you just said, like minutes ago, that you had not heard a single negative thing about your services in the wild, wild west as an unregulated something coach. gosh, that changed fast. Either people love you or they're talking shit about you in other people's channels. You can't have it both ways. Megan with 2 E's. You see this bullshit? Oh man, you are unforgivable, heifer.
Got a lost client. I don't know if you
Woo!
guys would consider it the same, but I stopped taking on new clients because I knew that I was not going to be able to help people when I was feeling so much negative energy and negative emotion.
Oh, it wasn't
And
her. It's not her problem that she can't help people. It's everybody else's problem. We are denying her the perfect environment to work her magic. Don't you know that? Or maybe it had something to do with all of Lori's trials were over and there was nothing else and other people moved on to new stories. Maybe that's why. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so triggered.
so that's how I work as a coach. You know, I know
know
when
how
I'm
you
not in a
work,
healthy
sister.
place, I can't really do much for other people. And so I bow out and I say, you know what, I need to take some
And you know what? This amazing, qualified, experienced, brilliant, professional, special person, I'm sure that even though they have to pull out of like helping solve other people's problems, don't you think they probably can put their good skills to use somewhere else? Right? There'll be some place for them where they can make a contribution.
time to do some thinking and some healing and some, you know, self-introspection. So October was kind of the start of that. And I watched what I had built with my bare hands get torn down and destroyed, mostly by one person, a small group of people.
Trolls.
And, you know, when people have been asking, you know, where have you been? Why aren't you here anymore? Why aren't you doing anything on your channel anymore? Well, it was because I was recovering. I needed to have the knife surgically removed from my back because it was in there so deep.
Oh, it was in your
And
back,
frankly,
right?
it
So it was a
took me
trusted
a long
person.
time to radically accept that what I had built was being torn down and there was nothing I could do about it.
Okay.
And so I don't really understand the personal attacks. I don't understand, you know, criticizing my hairstyle or
Well, you were horrible to Crescia and Kay Woodcock. You were horrible to these people. You supported the people that were the worst to JJ Vallow's family. You were vocal. You made fun of Crescia. You act like she didn't have people supporting her. You act like there are not people of integrity on YouTube being creators, and you are completely wrong in your assumption. There's more of us than there are people like you and Trisha. You're going to find that out. I think before it's over with, you're going to find out that the threat against other people, calling people trolls when really everything that's been said has either been an opinion or it's been factual, taking money from people that are hurting, that need real treatment, you're going to find out that the majority of people on YouTube are good people and they don't like that kind of behavior, Megan.
Or whatever. But mostly what was hurtful to me was the idea of making insinuations that I was on drugs, making allegations that I had been manipulated or that I was being controlled or that someone was paying me off or that someone was writing my scripts. Those kinds of comments are in fact defamatory.
Are
And
they?
if the people making them had any
Exactly. How is that defamatory when someone says, you know what? I think that she is white knighting for Lauren Matthias. I think she's trying to run interference for Lauren Matthias or for Trisha. Oh, that's defamatory when someone says, I think you need a better attorney, but you're going to need money for attorneys. They're expensive.
Money, I could have sued them and had a very good case for it.
Oh, she had
I
a very good case. She's going to sue people that have an opinion about her bad behavior. There's a whole army of attorneys that would laugh you off the platform if you tried that. You and Lauren and Trisha are incorrigible.
Decided that I didn't want to take any legal action. I probably could have, because I can literally show that I lost money. And
because there were no more Lori Vallow trials, there was no more Lori Vallow content, and you built all of your products on Lori Vallow. So good luck with that defense, because that dog don't hunt.
am going to show that here for you guys. Thank you so much, Hellfire Agency. I love you.
Oh, her work is sacred. The problem is that Megan is not religious. She doesn't believe in a supreme being. So how can it be sacred? Oh, are you saying that she's Beelzebub? Is she Satan? Is she the dark prince of the earth? Is that what you're saying? Hellfire Agency?
Thank you. I appreciate this. Yes, boundaries are super important in all that I know.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. David, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. I want to tell you just a little bit of where I've been basically since October, when I recognized, I had built up this channel and it was supporting me financially. When I recognized that it was not going to continue to grow in a way that would be predictable for me. I'm a single mom, and I am the only source of income for me and my two kids who are living here with me. And I realized that I needed to, have health insurance and have a little stability. And so I started looking at different options for basically a new career. I accepted a position as an adjunct professor at one of the local universities, and I considered for a while going back to get my doctorate and, just being a full-time professor at a university, which would have meant uprooting and moving, and that was not my favorite thing to do. I also was offered a position helping a CPA to prepare taxes, and I decided to explore that because I have that.
I'm so confused. For those of you that know this little chickadee, what's her master's degree in? Like what's she teaching as an adjunct professor? What's she teaching? Does anybody know? Music? Okay, so multiple people put music. Yeah, Amelia's like, bullshit. That's bullshit, not real. Nope. I don't know either, Melissa. Can't she overshare with AI if she really needs the attention? Lucia, she needs a new friend. Damn it. Go to Claude. Claude to do the trick. Delusional. I can't believe she has an option to work in the capacity of a professor. I'm trying to get this. Music and marketing? So does she have a business degree or she has a music degree? She's never told us about this before. This is all new. She's a failed opera singer. Y'all are killing me. It's hard, Linda Lou. She taught high school choir. Time to check her background in education. Please use special characters in place of sensitive words. Okay, so music then. Okay, so all right, so let's stay with that. Okay, so let's say that she gets an adjunct position teaching music, but then she gets another offer to teach accounting, and so she decides to do accounting. If she's an opera singer, doesn't it make sense that her expertise would be in music? Also, can I say this? When you're adjunct, you do not get benefits. If you're adjunct, you don't get insurance. And she doesn't look like an opera singer, right? Emotionally, she's a train wreck. She doesn't possess the capacity for teaching at that level. I'm going to have to ask her, Megan, I'm going to have to ask you to make a video. I want you to sing Ave Maria. I need Ave Maria. Okay. I want to hear this. We got to do this, Megan. Lay it down, couple of tracks. You ought to get it right if you were actually like in opera long enough to be a failed opera singer. Why wouldn't you take the teaching, the music professor thing? Why wouldn't you take that? What the hell do you know about accounting? Nothing, just another grift, right? Let me fake this and see if I can make it with it. Why wouldn't you go with the music? I got the music in me.
Analytical part of my brain. I thought it would be interesting work to do. And so I started that training also in October. And then I decided to completely start a new career. I was offered 3 different positions. 2 were at, fairly large companies, executive level positions. And the other one was not.
Executive of a major corporation. What is happening here, Megan? Like, are you making good choices for your child? I'm struggling to get you. I'm back to where I started. Somebody help me with this. Can somebody explain this to me? I'm struggling here.
Not really ready to talk about what I decided to do. Mixed Monkey, you've been around for a long time.
Anarchy, you're so
here.
Sweet.
Thank you. And thank you, Caroline.
You're sweet.
Carol.
Thank you
for becoming a new member. Thank you, Shishi Wolf. Appreciate you guys so much. I decided to start a completely new career. So
he's misunderstood.
In January, I basically sat my kids down actually a little before January, and I said, the next few months are going to suck because I'm going to be working. I started these different positions, and I was working from 6:30 in the morning until dark, pretty much, and sometimes long after that. And most of the time working on Saturdays.
That's what you do, Megan. When you're an adult, you work. I think this week, without getting exact, I think this week I'm going to have 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 44, 45. This week I'm going to have 46 hours. In 46 hours and 7, by the time Sunday gets here, 46 hours by Sunday. It's what we do. Why is she acting like that's a big deal? How many of you guys go to work and you have to get up early and then you work until it's dark and you come home and have dinner, take a bath and go back to bed, right? That's called adulthood, Megan. It's called being a mom. She and John seem to have the same
Sundays also.
Affliction.
And really just trying to make sure that my family could be financially secure. And it's been a struggle. It's been exhausting, and I haven't had time to make any content or videos, but that's actually been a really good thing for me.
How many times have you guys heard me apologize to you guys because I haven't made content? How many? Sometimes I don't come here for 3 or 4 weeks because I work a lot. This isn't hard, Megan. This is adulthood. So, if I'm a single parent and I have a little kid that is my responsibility, I'm going to be working 50 hours a week to do what I need to do to provide for that child, period. Most of us don't live a life like John Matthias, where we look at work as an optional activity. Most of us aren't trying to pay the mortgage and pay the rent and pay the insurance. Most of us aren't doing that, Megan. Why are you talking like this? Good heavens,
because
child.
It has allowed me the time and space to just quietly reflect on what my purpose is in this space and what I want it to look like going forward.
Your purpose.
So things are going to shift and change. And I'm switching sort of back to what my original purpose was, which is to encourage people to be the best versions of themselves and to ask yourself really hard questions and make some changes that might seem scary.
I got some hard questions. 1 minute. I have a hard question, and I'm going to expect some answers from the side chat. Okay. I need help. Here's my hard question. Why are we watching this? Okay, somebody tell me. That's my hard question. I need answers. Please help me. She makes it sound like she has minor children. Yeah, she says she's a single mother of 1 child and she's trying to make ends meet. She doesn't have a child? Y'all are so funny. We are 100% Steady Nona. Bingo, you are the winner. We are here supporting Crusha and Kay and Larry Woodcock all the way. Absolutely. We are supporting Jolene Lunzer. We are supporting Christina, Lindsay, Sarah Sidebody. We're supporting Every Day with Jay. We are here supporting all of the people that are logical and rational up here, who understand that you have to work for a living. Yes. Oh, educational view. Lily's here for the education. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, thank you, Melissa. You're sweet. Thank you so much. Yes, we're supporting Crusha. Absolutely, 100%. Crusha's a sweetheart, and more than being a sweetheart, she's honest. Something you'll never be.
That's what it's going to be like going forward. I also, in December, I mentioned this on my Patreon to my Patreon members, and I just will add this only because I'm not saying this to try and get people to feel sorry for me, but actually as a wake up.
Okay, right here, she's about to say something that is designed to make you feel sorry for her. It's just the way it is. Ask Chase Hughes. Chase Hughes is the man. He knows things, okay? He will tell you. The fact that she's pre-staging. Now, I'm not just telling you this to feel sorry for me. She's saying, now I need you to feel sorry for me. Okay, he'll tell you. I love Chase Hughes. Chase Hughes, you're the man.
Call to me. I've always been a very healthy person physically. I've always been very active. I've lifted weights. I've done CrossFit for years. I've always eaten, healthy, probably about 85% of the time.
Okay, I got to tell you guys something. I have not always been healthy. And there's a lot of times that I eat bad. Like, I love me some fried catfish and sweet potato fries. Ooh, doggy. You will bring out the Southern girl in me if you start frying up a mess of catfish. I'm there for it. Okay. Banana pudding. You try to get between me and my banana pudding, there's going to be a fight. And there could be a rope involved. So what's your point, Megan with 2 E's? That you're better than me? Because you eat healthy and you've always been healthy and you lift weights. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Jules is chowing down. Oh yeah. Sweet pickles to boot.
I do like my treats, but in December, I had to have a colonoscopy and I had 2 precancerous polyps removed from my colon. And I'm 50.
Is she pulling the cancer grift? No! Megan, you literally just pulled the cancer grift. Megan, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You went there. You went there. That is where you never go. Never. You never go to the cancer grift. Never. You doomed, girl. You are doomed. God says vengeance is mine, and God doesn't like it when you play the cancer grift. No, sirree, Bob. You better say a prayer. Woo! You bit off big that time. Golly. Wow, that is, she did, Steph. She is totally pulling the cancer grift.
1 years old. So I just want to encourage everybody to go out there and get your colonoscopies. But having that situation with my physical health was really scary for me. And it was sort of a wake-up call of like, I need to focus on what is important. And I need to make sure.
Wait. You just prefaced this whole cancer grift with, I've always exercised. I've always been healthy. I've always eaten healthy and watched my diet. And I have 2 precancerous cells. So what's the wake-up call, heifer? What's the wake-up call? What are you going to do different? You're going to start eating a mess of catfish every day? Is that, you're going to go downhill? You're going to be unhealthy? Maybe that'll make the cancer go away? You bitch. You grifting bitch. We're going to
make a really song.
Guess what, Megan? Tonight, we're making a song. Jules in the original Gems, we're going to be writing us some music tonight. We're going to be writing us some lyrics all about Megan and her cancer and her quest to treat her cancer with unhealthy food like fried catfish.
Myself so that I can continue to take care of the people that I love and care about. So go get your screenings, people. It's really, really important. But that situation added a lot to my depression. And I can honestly say I was very, very deeply depressed for several months. And I was not in a good place. So
you still not in a good place, you heifer.
I needed to take this time to get to the point where I could feel better about my purpose, basically, here on YouTube. So I'm going to share a couple of receipts with you, and then I think I'm going to wrap this up.
Oh, goody, I will money. This is what we came
probably
for.
Have more to say at a later time, but I wanted to get on here and just have a little bit of a conversation with you guys about what's been going on. And
you got on here to dry bag. You got on here to make people feel sorry for you and send you some cash.
And what things are going to look like going forward. So, so what I want to share with you is there are a couple things I'm actually going to show you, and then there are a couple of things that I'm just going to talk about in general terms. The first,
oh my God, what all did she do today in this video? What all did she do for her grifting, for her dry begging? She did the cancer grift, bigger in Dallas. She did it. There's no walking that shit back, girl. You did it. So she did the cancer grift. She's a victim of bullying. Remember that one? She's a victim of bullying. That she lost her business. She's the victim of a PDF file who forced her to make child sexual abuse products. She's the victim of a family beating her, committing domestic violence against her. Girl, you pulled out the stops for this video. Damn. Is this the most impressive dry begging grift fest that we've ever seen on YouTube before? Brittany J, girl, you have been dethroned. Megan is the queen of the grift. If you guys agree with me, if Megan gets crowned queen of the grift, who would agree with that? If you think Megan should be queen of the grift, put a 1. If you think queen of the grift remains Brittany J, put a 2. She'll be doing a 9-hour, live fest like her best tragedy vulture, Lauren. Yeah. She queen of the grift, baby. You know what's getting on it? She has been so hungry to be the best of the best. She finally found it. She is queen of the grift. Girl. Yuck. Whew. Terrible.
Is about my book. So I wrote my book. I paid about $3,000 to get it self-published.
You got robbed.
I also paid a few $100s, and I can't remember exactly how much, to buy some copies of my own book so that I could take the copies with me and sign them and hand them out at different events that I was going to speak out, etc. And
what?
So I just want to, I can't show you this because this is like my bank statements or whatever, but when I was doing my taxes this year, I added up all of my Amazon royalties that I got from selling my book, and it came to $177.97.
You rock on, babe.
So
you killing it.
Writing a book is not a pathway to financial freedom, as some people might think. Well, I also sold probably about $300 worth.
If you write a good book, it can be highly lucrative. But if you just throw a bunch of AI content together right before the trials start, you might make a little money with it.
A book last summer when I was at the Sunstone conference. So if you put all of that together, it's less than $500. And I can say, keeping track of the numbers over the years, I have not even broken even on selling my book. So to, all the people who have said really dumb things like, oh, you're making money off of your family's murders or whatever, it's just silliness. Thank you, Davis.
It's not as silly as you trying the cancer grift. That was silly. That's a bad decision, actually.
I appreciate you. So next I'm going to go to my Patreon, and I'm going to share with you how much I made on Patreon last year.
Why do we care, Megan?
Let's see.
We don't care.
Documents. Okay, so the way Patreon does it is if you go to your documents and you download your sheet, basically. So you can see how, in the meantime, though, I want to make sure that I share these. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, please, please, please get screen. So I'm going to share a window.
My God.
To do this. My Patreon numbers, guys, you can see that I started back in November of 2024. I made a grand total of $74 that month. And you can see how it's grown a little bit. My best month was June of 2025. I made $1,300 that month with my Patreon. And then, it started a little bit of a decline. It went up a little bit in November of 2025. But as you can see, December, $987. January of this year, $905. February, $731. March, $670. And April so far, $445. So I am literally showing you the receipts that my revenue has gone down since people started saying nasty things about me online.
Well, let me help you there, sister. Not since people started saying nasty things, but since people began to review what has come out of your mouth. But more importantly, since Lori Vallow's last trial is over and done and behind us, that's when you lost your revenue. This isn't brain surgery, Megan. It's pretty easy. And every channel that was covering the Vallow trial experienced exactly what you just showed. You're not making your case like you think you are.
Then I want to show you my YouTube revenue as well. But
why? Why do we want to see your YouTube revenue? Nobody cares, Megan.
I know. Let's
Nobody
65.
cares.
So let me. Just call me Kim. Right. These are my channel analytics for the last 365 days.
Yeah.
And
so ended April 2025, it started going down, right? At the end of the trials, Megan. This what you built your channel on, Megan. Everybody that was making money on Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell stories, it all went away at the same time. Ask your little friend, Lauren Matthias. Okay?
Can see in April of 2025, I made about $1,200. Then in May, $5,000. That was when the trials were going on. So of course it was going to be higher. My best month was in June.
Happy days are here again. Money, 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 honey. You were sure sad to see Lori go, weren't you? Because you were rolling in it when the trials were going on.
Where I made $7,300. And then of course it dropped off because I wasn't doing 3 live streams a day.
Because there wasn't anything for you to talk about because you built your entire channel on your stupid cousin. That's what you named her, Lori Vallow. How are we not communicating here? Exactly. Oh, because you decided since you don't have any money, you need to sue people.
So in July, about $3,000, August, $2,000, September, $1,600. And some of you might recall, I had a problem with bots at that time. And YouTube was limiting my ad revenue because they thought I was having invalid traffic. So there was that whole crisis. And then in October, when I came out in support of Lauren, I had a good month. It was $3,300, almost $3,400. And then immediately the revenue dropped $900.
Could that have been because people thought that it was absolutely obscene that you were lashing out at Kresha and Kay? Is that why? That you saw that dramatic drop off? You were already losing revenue because the Lori Vallow story was over, was history. But then the truth came out and revealed your terrible comments, the way that you and Lauren and Trisha mistreated this family. And good people, people of integrity, they said, no, no, we're no, no, no. You're not going to do this. Not going to get away with it.
1,000, 540 in January, 420 in February, $300 last month, and so far $170.90 this month. So I just wanted to share a little bit of transparency with you guys financially, just because, not begging. I'm not asking for anybody to give me more money. I literally just said I started a new career so that I could have some stability because this was not stable. And the reason that I'm being transparent about it is because I think that there's a lot of misinformation. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there about how much YouTubers make and about what they do for their content. And, some people have said exploitation and whatever, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Literally just being transparent.
We have Megan's opinion. Aren't you glad? Aren't you so grateful that the great and powerful Megan has gifted us with her opinion? Yeah. Nobody cares, Megan. You don't amount to a hill of beans, literally. With your stupid cousin locked up for life, there's literally nothing else for you to bring to the internet because you built your channel on Lori grifting. Come up with a different topic. Have a different point of view. Make a different purpose. People will come. There'll be people that align with you. But your days of making money on the deaths of Charles Vallow, JJ, Tylee, Tammy, those days are behind you now, sister.
And now I'm going to end with some unpopular opinions.
Oh, thank God it's almost over.
Because this is what you can expect from me going forward.
Oh, I'm scared.
The gloves are off mainly because I don't think gloves serve anybody. I know I'm not for everybody. I don't expect everyone to agree with me on everything. I expect a disagreement. I like healthy pushback. I like to hear other people's perspectives and opinions because I always learn when I listen to other people. Yeah. So I will say that.
I don't think that's true, Megan. I think that's more of you blowing smoke up your own behind. You don't want anybody to have a different opinion. You don't want anybody to address the nonsense that you have spilled forth in this video. That is not true. You're just trying to look noble, okay? Because there's so much of you saying one thing and then contradicting yourself, and then say this whole thing is just not that. But I want to hear Ave Maria, damn it. Make that happen, and then I'll believe you.
Also, I've never claimed to be an expert on anything, really.
Wait a minute. You claimed that you were the only good role model for healing of complex trauma through EMDR. You did. You did. For 30 damn minutes, you talked about it. And that you were such a success that you had to write a book so that you could heal other people. You did claim it. Hell yeah, you did.
For music, yeah. I kind of am an expert on that because I do have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in that. I have a bachelor's degree in music and marketing. So I will claim some authority there.
Wait,
but as far
what'd she say? Shit, I missed it. Let me hear.
Kind of am an expert on that because I do have a master's.
What?
Because I always learn when I listen to other people.
Okay.
So I will say that. Also, I've never claimed to be an expert on anything, really.
Liar.
Except for music. I kind of am an expert on that because I do have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in that. I have a bachelor's degree in music and marketing.
Okay, so we got that answer. So she's got a master's degree in Okay, we have that master's. And then she has a bachelor's degree in law. And she has a bachelor's in by this. buy this, buy this, buy this. So it makes perfectly good sense that she wants to try her hand at being an accountant. So crazy.
So
I would like to be an opera singer, me. I'm going to throw my psychology towel in, and I am going to forget all about anything I've ever learned about civil engineering, and I want to be an opera singer. Is that advisable? No, I should stick with what I know.
claim some authority there. But as far as all of this healing stuff goes,
Yeah.
coaching, all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I just have some experience that I think can help other people. And people who value what I have to say are always welcome here. And people who don't value what I have to say, you're welcome to leave your comments and move along, whichever. But I'm going to say some unpopular opinions now, just so that we can just get it all out of the way. And if you're going to unsubscribe or leave my channel, these things are going to.
Why does she keep warning us? How many times has she warned us that she's about to say some unpopular things? Are you feeling frightened? Is anybody feeling like nervous about what we're about to hear? I am feeling a little scared.
Come up again. They're hard topics to talk about, and they're opinions that I have that are going to continue to be voiced on this channel because I want to talk about things in a healthy way.
Good.
The first thing that I will say is that you can do all the research in the world that you want to do, but if you don't actually talk to people, your research doesn't mean shit.
What does that mean? You can do all the research in the world you want to do, but if you don't actually talk to people, your research doesn't mean anything. Does that mean we shouldn't believe like legal depositions done by attorneys? We shouldn't believe court documents? What exactly are you talking about? Because that made no sense to me.
I think we need to, number two, I think we need to separate politics from everything else. When I talk
politics? Why is she talking about what? Wait a minute. Why is she talking about politics? We are talking about murdered children and the money that you put in your pocket to the tune of about $30,000 based on the deaths of these two kids. Why are you bringing up like politics? Does anybody know what she's addressing? Like, what the hell is she talking about? You lost me again, Megan.
About protecting children, people seem to agree with that. But when I say to protect a specific group of people, that's when people start to get a little iffy and weird about it. If I say we should protect all children, people are like, cool, that's awesome. If I say we should protect Palestinian children, then all of a sudden it's political. If I say protect Israeli children, then all of a sudden it's political. Why? Protecting children shouldn't be political. And if I want to come out and
what she's talking about doesn't have anything to do with the price of eggs in China. There were no Palestinian children murdered by Lori Vallow. So I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
Talk about a public figure being a bully and a narcissist, people will be on board with that. They'll say, yes, you're right. They're a bully. They're a narcissist. Unless they happen to be a politician. Then all of a sudden I'm being political. No, that's not really it. It's not about politics.
Well, I have a question. Forgive me. How do you know that the politician has narcissistic personality disorder? Like, how are you making that determination? Because last time I checked, politicians are not getting psych evaluations and having them published online for anyone to read. They tend to hide their personality disorders better than other people hide their personality disorders. Who are you talking about? Wonder who she's talking about.
Politics, it's about calling out people's bad behavior.
but we don't get to call out your bad behavior, right?
Number 3, if you're a parent who has lost full or partial custody of your children for any reason whatsoever, you probably have some reflecting to do. Now, I know the court system gets it wrong a lot of the time, and there's a lot of injustice out there, but I've been around the court system in enough custody cases to understand the fact that you have to do some things wrong along the way in order.
Why have you been around a lot of lost custody cases? What exactly brings you into contact with people that are losing their kids? I don't understand. Is anybody else confused?
to have that happen to you. Now, I'm not going to say that's universally true, but everyone
just
who's
did.
in that situation at least should do some personal reflection. I've had to do it. I've been estranged from one of my children before.
So it is actually Megan who has lost custody of at least one of her children. I didn't know that. I had never heard that before. So I don't know who she thinks is talking about it, but I hadn't heard that before.
I understand what that feels like. And the last thing that I'm going to say, unpopular opinion, is that I'll just start with the God of the Old Testament. The God of the Old Testament is a terrible parent.
What?
There is there's a lot that we sort of tend to accept out of dogma and out of things that we've always done, things that we've accepted, and we've never really examined whether or not it's healthy. And when I look at the God of the Old Testament, that's not a healthy parent. I
don't know what you're talking about. You just sat for 2 hours on the internet with your dog locked up behind you in a cage, heifer. If we extrapolate that to how you treated young children, you're going to be on the losing end of that argument. Oh, I hate these kind of people.
know that because I started a blog called God is the Only Perfect Parent. And I
started a joke. It started the whole world crying.
quickly had to stop writing it because I realized that a parent who doesn't get worshiped in the way that they want to be worshiped and then decides to wipe out all of their children in a flood is not a healthy, good parent.
What? What did you just say? What did I just hear? What did she just say? I know I didn't hear that. I did not hear that. Nope. Didn't hear that. We're going to listen again.
That we've always done, things that we've accepted, and we've never really examined whether or not it's healthy. And when I look at the God of the Old Testament, that's not a healthy parent. I know that because I started a blog called God is the Only Perfect Parent. And I quickly had to stop writing it because I realized that a parent who doesn't get worshiped in the way that they want to be worshiped and then decides to wipe out all of their children in a flood is not.
Megan, that was blasphemous. A God who is not worshiped the way that he wants to be worshiped wipes out all of his children with a flood, and yet you are the little heifer coming from a family that did exactly what you just described. Lori Vallow was unhappy with the state of affairs with her children, and so she erased them. That's your family, sister, not mine. I don't think, if I remember correctly, the Old Testament, I don't think there was a flood because the children were misbehaving. You know what I mean? I think they had graduated to full-blown evil, subjugation, exploitation, worship of false gods. They were engaging in cannibalism. They were raping their own children. They were wiped out because they were evil. So your cutesy little messaging, it may fit with your warped view of the world, but it's not historically accurate, not by a long shot. And if we're really aiming for historical accuracy, you probably would do better commenting on what went wrong in your family, that one of the women erased her offspring, and then you stepped up to the plate to make money off of those offspring.
Not a healthy, good parent. So I'm going to continue to talk about these types of subjects. And as always, I welcome your comments, whether they're nice comments or not nice comments.
What if they're just accurate? What if they're just an accurate reflection of the way that your offensive words affect us? That going to be okay for you?
I have to say and what I have to share is helping people, period. I know that's the case.
No, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever. The words that you used in this video that we just sat and wasted this part of our life listening to, that we'll never get back, in no way were your words helpful at all to Kay, Larry, and Crusher. None. There's not a single redeeming quality for anything that you said in this video. Nothing. It was exploitation on so many different levels. Dry begging. It was as awful as it can be. Okay, so everybody's saying there's more to what she wrote, but it looks like it is maybe she must have deleted. I'll go ahead and finish playing what's here, but you know what? It looks like to me that maybe she cut off the end of her live. Let's look and see. Let's watch. She's a big girl. What a big girl she is. She said the F-bomb. Good for you, girl. You're so brave. You are so courageous and beautiful. Megan, that was really, 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 really good. Let's listen again to her big girl words.
I welcome your comments, whether they're nice comments or not nice comments. What I have to say and what I have to share is helping people, period. I know that's the case. And I know there are people out there who disagree with that. And guess what? I don't fucking care. It's my fucking channel, and I'll say whatever the fuck I want. And I hope that you all have a beautiful fucking day.
Oh, look at what a big girl she is. Now let your fucking dog out of the fucking cage. So dumb. Man. Yeah, Amelia, I know. Let the dog out, you nut. Good God. That's because she never knew those Bible stories. Megan, stop being so lazy and apply yourself to learning. Absolutely, Carolina. Wasn't that weird, Lily? Why was she so proud of dropping the F-bomb? Like what? Yeah, here's an F-bomb for you, Megan, with 2 E's. Fraud. There's an F-bomb. Fraud. Oh, that was the kiss of death, Melissa. That was the end. Yeah, that was the end of it. Megan needs to watch the movie Nefarious. I've never seen her smile before. And it was sinister, wasn't it? It was so cold and frightening. Megan, you scared me. Who's scared? Let's tell the truth. Who's scared? It's very strange, Melissa. Yeah. I have a serious question for my friends here. Do we want to welcome the amazing Megan into our circle of trust? Does she belong here with us fun girls? We don't want her. We don't want her in the fun girl cult, do we? Yes, Snickers says, I can't stop shaking. She scared the shit out of me. Oh, Megan, you used your big girl words. Gosh, that was really strong. Megan, you look so silly. You know, that's the thing about cussing, right? When people try to cuss and they don't know how to do it, it just sounds sort of clumsy. You know what I mean? But people that like they're a drunk sailor or they often cuss, they have a way of being able to use these words in a way that you don't really hear them, right? Because they're not clumsy. They just carry impact. That was really cringy, Megan. You just looked silly. Like you just looked foolish dropping your F-bombs. It was just silly. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what, just me? That heifer is going to have a hard time getting through all the friends that Kresha has. Kresha has a lot of friends, and we're not going to take this bullshit. No. If this heifer wants to sue people, she better not start with Kresha because there's so much to come back on you. You're cringy and pathetic. Let the dog out of the cage. You weird, creepy, inhumane cretin. All right. See my sweet smile? Everybody, have a really great, wonderful evening. Thank y'all for being here. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Share on your social media. You might need to cut out the F-bombs at the end. I'm sorry I did that, but, you know, I was making my point, right? Have a nice evening.
Welcome to the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Ducks, poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama Show. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. The ladies are screeching, they're hurling those names. Snake, liar, fraud. It's their favorite game. No problems defined, no solution in sight. Just a merry-go-round of emotional fights. Subs egg it on, they're loving the mess. Trauma bonding nightly in this hot circus press. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, spree. It's a borderline's dream, this emotional ride. No facts, just feelings with nowhere to hide. They gather each night for their drama parade. Significance found in the mess that they've made. So tune in tomorrow, the circus won't stop. Krama's True Crime keeps the drama on top. With insults and screams, it's a wild, wild scene. Krama's True Crime Circus, fighting to be YouTube's drama queen.